Egypt's Red Sea Gambit, military diplomacy, maritime rivalries, and Ethiopia's isolation. In Alamein, Egyptian and Somali leaders renewed a security pact with far-reaching implications. Behind the photo ops and statements about stability, Egypt is militarizing its Red Sea diplomacy, placing Ethiopia's maritime aspirations squarely in the crosshairs. This is no longer about Somalia's territorial integrity. It's about reshaping power dynamics in the Horn of Africa. How will Ethiopia respond to a growing axis aligned against its access to the Red Sea? Hi, I'm Sina Exau, and this is Analytica Today. On July 7, 2025, President Abdel Fattah, el-Sisi, hosted Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud in the Egyptian city of Alamein. The official agenda: Red Sea security, counterterrorism, and bilateral cooperation. But beneath the surface lies a deeper geopolitical strategy. With growing military footprints in Somalia, a trilateral pact with Eritrea, and a strong opposition to Ethiopia's 2024 port deal with Somaliland, Egypt is recalibrating its regional doctrine and countering Ethiopia's growing influence. This analysis unpacks the motives, consequences, and potential outcomes of the Egypt's Red Sea Gambit. Egypt's Red Sea doctrine: security or strategy? Cairo's repeated vows to protect the Red Sea sound noble, but they serve a dual purpose. The Suez Canal remains Egypt's economic lifeline. Any moves that shift trade routes or security control toward Ethiopia or alternative Red Sea players threaten its status quo. El-Sisi's language around stability and sovereignty is part of a broader maritime containment strategy, positioning Egypt as the ultimate security guarantor in the region. That ambition accelerated after Ethiopia signed a 2024 MOU with Somaliland, granting it access to a leased port and naval base. Though the deal has since quieted diplomatically, Cairo and Mogadishu both saw it as an existential threat: Somalia to its sovereignty and Egypt to its strategic control of maritime lanes. Egypt's response has been swift and multi-layered, signing a bilateral military agreement with Somalia in August 2024. Training and equipping Somali special forces, deploying troops under the African Union support and stabilization mission in Somalia, coordinating regional policy through a tripartite summit with Eritrea and Somalia. Somalia has become a frontline in Egypt's regional strategy. Through military cooperation and diplomatic alignment, Mogadishu is not only repairing Ethiopia's maritime overtures, it's anchoring Egypt's influence in the Horn. President Hassan Sheikh's warm embrace of Egypt's support reflects both shared anxieties and mutual benefits. Egypt gains a foothold in the region. Somalia gains military resources and regional clout, but this alliance also shifts the regional internal balance. A joint summit in Asmara in late 2024 involving Eritrea, Egypt, and Somalia explicitly reaffirmed a collective stance on defending territorial sovereignty. While no country was named, Ethiopia was the unspoken subject. This emerging bloc, though fragile, marks a turning point in how the Red Sea and Horn politics are being organized, not through trade but through military alignment. On July 3rd, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed reiterated before a parliament that Ethiopia's maritime ambitions are peaceful and grounded in mutual benefit. Our desire is to sow good seeds, he said, insisting that access to the sea is essential to completing Ethiopia's sovereign statehood. Yet Ethiopia's tone of moderation is being met with regional suspicion. Somalia continues to frame any sea access negotiation with Somaliland as illegitimate. Egypt, meanwhile, casts Ethiopia's ambition as destabilizing, potentially threatening the Suez Canal and broader Red Sea trade. Despite these reactions, Ethiopia is sticking to its strategy of diplomatic patience and regional persuasion. But it now faces the reality of hardened access work against its maritime goals. What's unfolding is not merely diplomatic posturing, it's the formation of a new regional bloc. Egypt, Somalia, and Eritrea are aligning on territorial integrity, security, cooperation, and Red Sea oversight. Ethiopia is increasingly boxed out of coastal influence and must rely on soft diplomacy to re-engage. This reordering raises critical questions. Could Ethiopia pivot to other Red Sea players like Djibouti or Sudan, or Turkey intervene as mediators or stakeholders? Can African Union mechanisms address the growing militarization of diplomacy? So far, mediation efforts like those led by Turkey between Somalia and Ethiopia have offered symbolic de-escalation, but no structural solution. The longer these alignments persist without dialogue, the greater the risk of escalation, whether through proxy conflicts, naval standoffs, or economic disruption. Egypt's renewed military partnership with Somalia isn't just about counterterrorism or shared development. It's a calculated geopolitical maneuver to reshape the Horn of Africa. Maritime future. For Ethiopia, the stakes are existential. Its long-term access to global trade, regional integration, and economic sovereignty hang in the balance. As regional powers dig in, diplomacy, not defense, is the only path to stability. I'm Sina Exau, and this is Analytica Today. If this resonated with you, share your thoughts, because the Red Sea's future should be shaped by cooperation, not competition.